Hey everyone, it's Jill Foster here for Penny Black with my ninth in a series of 10 videos counting down my top 10 favorite stamps, dies, techniques, and design ideas featuring Penny Black's new timeless collection. And today's video is all about silhouette stamping, and I am featuring Penny Black's new transparent set called Floral Silhouette. And I wanted to show how silhouette stamping can be very, very simple and very, very easy to do, but get really beautiful, dynamic effects, especially with these beautiful floral stamps. And these cards are actually inspired by some that I saw by a talented card maker named Sherry Hester. She likes to make 3 by 3 inch cards, so I decided to give it a try, and I love working on this size. So I encourage you to try some mini cards too. So before we get started, I just wanted to mention there will be a full supply list at the very end of the video. So if you want to see that in more detail at the time, just watch on screen and hit pause when it comes up. So here's a look at the stamp set that we'll be featuring on all of these cards. This is the new Floral Silhouette stamp. Now I've used it in some other videos as more of a background element, but today I wanted to make it the star of the show. I'm stamping onto smooth heavyweight cardstock, and I am inking my stamps using Ranger archival inks in the mini size. I've picked some of my favorite colors by Wendy Vecchi. She just has the most beautiful colors in her line of archival inks, and I'll have all of those exact colors listed at the very end of the video. And these stamps make it very easy to sort of get in there and get just the flowers inked up with one color and just the leaves and stems inked up with the next. And by stamping in a stamp positioning tool such as the MISTI, you can add layers of color and also do multiple impressions if you want to darken up the colors or if you don't stamp perfectly. Now this is the Detail Ink Blending tool from Ranger, and I'm going to use that to apply just in a few spots a little bit darker blue onto the flowers. So it's got a sponge, a little sponge at the tip of it. I'm putting that into the cobalt blue archival ink, dabbing it onto a few of the flowers and then stamping it down. And I can just repeat that process if I want to darken it up. So this is an easy way to sort of get some spot treatment, so to speak, on your stamp and get some color just in some little areas. Now the sentiments on my cards today are from my favorite sentiment set from this release. You've probably noticed I've been using it a lot. So I just stamped that on using a brown ink and mounted this onto a 3 by 3 inch note card. And this size is really great for gifts, to put with gift bags or gift cards. It's just a really fun size to work on. And if you feel like you might be in a little bit of a rut or want your stamps to look really different because you're working on a smaller size, I definitely recommend giving this size a try. So for these flowers, I stamped them first using a light yellow and some orange, and then I'm just going in and adding even more orange towards the center using another one of those detail blending tools. I'm also going to put the ink pad right kind of into the center and then blot up any extra and kind of smooth out the edges using my fingers. I am going to get the stems on this one using a distress marker. Any water soluble marker that you have would work well. This helps you get in between the flowers, like that one part that's kind of right in the middle. You have the precision of applying the ink with the marker. You'll notice that on all of these cards, I'm not doing any painting, any extra coloring, just inking and stamping. And this set is really fun for that effect here. I'm just putting a little bit of brown around the top. And it just looks so dynamic and it's so easy to do. Finish this off here. And to finish this card, once I was done stamping, I just wrapped one side. You can see I stamped the flowers off to the right hand side, and so I trimmed the panel down to just slightly smaller than 3 by 3 inches and wrapped one side with some twine, added a bow, and a small self-adhesive pearl. This would be handy to have on hand. You could add any sentiment to the inside to suit an occasion that came up. Now this last one is probably the easiest to do because the flower and the stem are separate. So I'm starting by stamping this beautiful leaf image, and you'll notice with this floral silhouette set, I think the curve of all the branches and the sort of the line of the overall stamp is very elegant. And it's things like this, I think, that make simple stamping end up looking very beautiful in the end when you start with such a well illustrated and well made stamp itself. So here's the little flower that you can add in wherever you want it to go with the other elements that are included in this stamp set. So I got just the little stem there, and then now I'm moving on to the top. And these little mini ink pads work really well for being able to have lots of control when you put your ink onto your stamp. But like you saw with the previous one, you can use markers to do that as well. Here I'm using that detail blending tool to add a little bit darker color towards the bottom. I first put that color on and there just was not enough contrast, so I actually grabbed a purple, it's called Thistle, and layered that with the red, and I really liked how that turned out. I did it a couple of times. I got braver after I stamped it once and then added even more on. I simply stamped my sentiment and added this to a little miniature red note card, and it was complete. So here's another look at all three of those miniature 3x3-inch cards featuring silhouette stamping. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can also connect with Penny Black on Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, Twitter, as well as our website and blog. And I'll link to all of those for you down in the YouTube description box below. And if you stay tuned, right up here on screen, you will see the complete list of all the supplies used, including all of the ink colors I used to stamp those flowers. Thanks for watching.